If you've been living under a rock and you haven't got around to watching the new greatest shonen masterpiece within Jujutsu Kaisen, you are missing out. As of today, Jujutsu Kaisen's Twitter account now has more followers than both My Hero Academia and Black Clover, which have been airing for years now, which is a huge milestone given that Jujutsu Kaisen just now ended its first season. Additionally, in AniList, a website which polls and lists anime, Jujutsu Kaisen is now the most watched and second highest rated anime of 2020. Gojo Satoru has also risen in the most favorited character list on AniList to the spot of number 8. Mind you, there are characters in this list who have been ongoing for decades, from shows like One Piece for instance, so this shows the absolute magnitude of Jujutsu Kaisen's popularity and success despite there being just one season. There are many reasons why Jujutsu Kaisen is so wildly successful, but starting off, Jujutsu Kaisen by Gege Akutami has a lot of darker elements than other animes within the shonen category. Many shonen follow a trope of a plot where often a duo or trio, all aiming for one goal or common uniting factor, press on and grow together throughout the plot. And although Jujutsu Kaisen does this within Nobara, Megumi, and Itadori, it does it in a different fashion. At no point throughout the show is the magnitude of the reality they live in lessened. They are not doing simple missions that typical shonen plots would follow. Instead, they are constantly faced with life and death at every turn. Despite the heroic nature of our main protagonist within Yuji Itadori, his ideology of wanting to save others is constantly juxtaposed with the reality that he can't. Death is around every corner, and the grim reality of the world of curses is never diminished, which is an absolute compelling part of this plot. Yes, we have a protagonist who is good and wants to save others, but I don't believe he is unequivocally good like other main characters are. He has a simplistic ideology that he isn't constantly screaming about, and an ideology that isn't unchangeable. He's a malleable character, and his ideology stemming from his grandfather's words, telling him that he is a strong individual and to use that strength to help others. We see his struggle with this philosophy of unequivocally wanting to save others when he kills transfigured humans alongside Nanami, and in episode 24 where he kills the two Curse Womb death paintings alongside Nobara. He feels guilt and remorse over killing these transfigured humans. Although they are no longer human, he still feels immense guilt because he couldn't save these individuals. But in the discussion with Nobara in episode 24, she helps him realize that no matter how strong Nobara and Itadori are, they are not strong enough to detain those two Curse Womb paintings. And as a result, if they didn't kill them, they would have killed both of them and more people. Again, with the aspect of saving others unequivocally, we see previously Megumi ask Itadori a question that shakes his ideology within. He says, "What happens when you save someone and that person you saved kills someone else?" We see that his ideology is continually questioned and continually molded, which adds to an element I believe many find enchanting within the story. I think we enjoy finding a character who isn't static, instead, someone who is ever-changing and developing. Alongside the darker elements and the beauty of the protagonist within Yuji Itadori, who is forever changing, another element that contributes to Jujutsu Kaisen's success is the focus and development of the plethora of characters outside of Yuji. Quickly, we have all become enamored with Gojo Satoru, a phenomenally designed and well-written character who is unquestionably the strongest sorcerer alive. He fits the sensei role within shonen, but he is absolutely god tier in power, and that is demonstrated throughout the show. But what separates Gojo from other teacher figures in anime is that he has his own agenda. He wants to reform the Jujutsu world from the ground up. It's stated numerous times that he could kill every single higher-up in the Jujutsu world and that it would be entirely easy for him, but that wouldn't change anything. That others would rise up and eventually take their place and no change would ever happen. He says instead, to see his dream realized, he needs to reform the Jujutsu world from the ground up, within the youth, and by teaching the youth he believes he can reform the world. Gojo's unique motivations add to his enchanting element alongside his amazing power system of limitless infinity, which is absolutely visually stunning. In addition to Gojo, the two who work alongside Yuji within Nobara and Megumi are two characters who again don't fit the typical mold. Megumi is a dark and edgy partner to our main character, but not within the typical nature of a cocky rival who seeks to put our main character within Yuji down. Instead, he's one to push Yuji forward and compete alongside him so they can both actualize their goals. Within Nobara is an amazing, well-written female character who does not suffer from the mistreatment of so many female leads within anime. She is strong-willed, not fan-servicey, and has the ability to take care of herself and not rely on another character to save her as if she's a damsel in distress. The villain system of this show is godly as well, within Ryomen Sukuna, who is a terror every time he enters the screen with no remorse for others, which makes for a compelling villain living within Yuji Itadori. Although his intentions aren't fully fleshed out and neither is his backstory, it's unquestionable that Sukuna is a character who strikes fear into the heart of every watcher, reader, and individual within the Jujutsu Kaisen world. The Curse organization is also a compelling organization, as they believe they are the true unadulterated inheritors of the world, given that they stem from the true emotions of humans. Although evil, their root cause and their origin are compelling that they exist due to the negative emotions, fears, and superstitions from humanity. Gege Akutami has absolutely written such well fleshed out characters that add to the allurement of this story. Lastly, Jujutsu Kaisen's animation within its studio MAPPA is breathtaking. The fight scenes are some of the best I've ever seen, and the soundtrack alongside them makes it even better. Continually, I am blown away with each fight, and the animation behind it makes it so visually stunning, and it's very reminiscent of Demon Slayer's beautiful animation. Due to Jujutsu Kaisen's darker elements within the story, amazingly written characters, and stunning animation, I think it's easy to see why Jujutsu Kaisen has reached such global popularity, taking away the award of Anime of the Year and Sukuna as the Villain of the Year, both giant awards for, again, an anime that's only been ongoing for 24 episodes. Guys, I absolutely love Jujutsu Kaisen, and it has quickly become one of my favorite animes and my favorite mangas that I'm almost completely current on. So, I want to continually cover Jujutsu Kaisen as the story continues to progress, as the manga right now is only in chapter 144. So, if you enjoyed any of this Jujutsu Kaisen content, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you would like me to cover. I'm planning on also discussing a video about Gojo Satoru and his power system. I also want to do a video about Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which is the prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen, which covers Yuta Akatsu, who is a pretty central figure within the manga now, who's absolutely amazing backstory. So guys, as always, I'll catch you all